welcome you on the live. There's just a lot that has been going on this year in different parts of the world, in different ministries. We saw Tiphani the other day collapsing, and according to her, she spoke about it and she said it was a spiritual attack. So just a few hours ago, EZEKIEL Perry, by the time that I'm doing this video, also speaks about a similar experience that she got the other day. But this one gets even more serious. There's a reason why I'm saying that, because I want to get into it and then you'll be able to actually see it. So we need more reason for us just to remember that we need to really pray for ministers, just the way the Bible speaks about us remembering those who lead us, just for us to remember them in prayer. Then this is even more reason for that, because they're going through quite a lot. So let's get in the video here.
I'm on FaceTime. I was telling my mama what I was on FaceTime with Megan, but I was telling my mother what happened. She was like, "Girl, I hope it ain't diabetes."
Yeah, so let's take it from the top.
I ain't got
just
it, but I
bring
feel
it
like
back here from the top.
Lord,
I ain't got it, but I feel like I got a little bit because my wife got it.
you got things. We all got our lots in life.
Yeah.
We went to Australia in August. Okay, minding our business. I ain't feeling all
Doing ministry.
Yeah, preaching the gospel. I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm feeling a little weird, feeling a little weary, feeling a little tired. I'm thinking, all right, maybe I'm just like, I don't know, dehydrated and jet lag. So I'm killing water. We was in Australia 5 days, but it's like 7-day trip because it takes like 2 days to get there. Killing liquids, killing water, drinking stuff I don't even drink. If you know me, I don't drink soda. I only drink coffee and water. I'm drinking orange juice. I'm drinking Gatorade because I just want stuff to quench my thirst, on top of feeling mad fatigued. Mm-hmm. So one of the days we we're supposed to do this youth conference. We had dinner with the staff. Mm-hmm. That dinner, now I realize, it's just all carbohydrates, AKA glucose. I'm eating rice. I'm eating sweet potatoes. Remember that man ordered me my own bowl of garlic noodles? Sent me over. Didn't have any idea that I was dying on the inside.
Yeah,
so I eat all the carbs, do all the stuff.
Food was good too.
Delicious. We went to sleep, took a nap. I wake up, we go to the youth conference, and I look around, I'm like, I can't see nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is everything blurry? I immediately think, oh, this is demonic attack. Like, you look so serious. We're about to go.
I'm just reliving this.
We're about to go preach the gospel, and the devil don't want me to see.
But no, I'm going to just pause.
Please,
real quick,
interject.
Because we're both doing ministry in Australia. Mm-hmm. But that night, you were the only one who had to speak.
No, you were speaking.
No, I thought you were speaking that day because you was like, you couldn't see right before you went on stage. Remember? And then I closed that particular conference out the next day with a sermon.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so I just thought it was like me. I was like, I'm on my knees praying in the back. Like, how does girl lose her sight right before she got to go on stage? Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, yo, this is a spiritual attack. That's what I, immediately went to. So I went to praying because I thought like something reversing your eyes.
Because I had to speak 3 times. I had to speak twice at the youth conference and then teach 2 times at the women's conference.
Right.
And because I not lost my sight, but it's like my vision completely regressed where everything was significantly blurry. So when I was teaching, I could not see the crowd. Wow. I could not see the time clock. I could see my scriptures. Usually my main script's probably 12-point font. I put that thing about 22. Just had to make it bigger so I could see it. And again, I'm thinking this is like the enemy trying to hinder our peace or something, and not even just the enemy. I'm like, Lord, why is this the thing you let him do to me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we get back home again. I'm still feeling even more.
Yeah. So they went to preach. She got on the pulpit. Then everything just started being blurry. So at this point, she's looking at it like this is a spiritual attack. And you'll know that once you start to see things blurry, the next thing that happens is that you definitely collapse or faint. But I love that the fact that as much as she was going through whatever she was going through, but she was still committed. She was still committed to getting on the pulpit to actually deliver the word against all the odds that she was actually up against at that time. So this even gets, it even gets even worse at this point. So I just want to give you of that foundation of that, just for those who are joining in. And just in case you're joining in, go ahead like the video so that YouTube can be able to share this with someone else as well. And also subscribe on the platform in case you haven't. I see Yama is saying greeting to everyone, greeting to you. Lady Fab is saying, I think I've heard her name from Celestial Prophecies. Yes, there's a time that Celestial got to speak about her. There's a time that Tiphani also got to speak about her as well. Emma is saying, yes, true. Yeah, so that lays a foundation, but things are about to actually be worse. And then there's something that she got to speak about at the beginning, where she's speaking about how she had these cravings for sodas, cravings for Jesus and all these things. And she was taking all these things in, which is unlike the person that she is. So she's also laying a foundation of the type of lifestyle that she has been up to. So according to her, she has had quite a very healthy habits in terms of just taking water, taking what should be taken, taking what is appropriate. Yeah. So let's get into it.
We get back home again. I'm still feeling even more fatigued. And so when we got off the plane, I remember you were waiting for the luggage. I was like, can I sit down? Because it felt like I just didn't have strength. And I was like, I feel like how I felt like my first trimester of pregnancy. It was just strange. And I knew I wasn't pregnant. So I felt like I was my first trimester of pregnancy. And then I came home.
What if you were pregnant, though?
Well, that would be like a
miracle.
That would be Mary again, right? Like the Holy Spirit would have had to do something.
Because I made some snips.
Yeah, you circumcised some things, and so I might prefer diabetes.
Yeah, it seems like the husband has done a vasectomy, but you see, the Bible says all things are possible. So, there might not be any hope there for you getting a baby because there's vasectomy. But then again, all things are possible means that all things are possible. You know that? Yeah. But that's a good question. Think about it. If the husband has done a vasectomy, then the wife comes and says that she's actually pregnant. And then maybe there's that season, there's that period where you're not sure if this is really a baby and everything. And then you go maybe do a DNA and then it's 100% positive that you are actually the father. That by itself is just a miracle. It's a miracle altogether. But all things are possible.
I might prefer diabetes over that. I don't know. Do you make time for your annual checkup at work? I do, because I'm a diabetical. But as for you,
yeah. So let me just forward this part here. Let's just forward this part here. Yeah. Let's get back to the story at this point.
I came home.
Yeah, you came home.
I'm fatigued. I'm tired. I'm on FaceTime. I was telling my mama I was on FaceTime with Megan, but I was telling my mother what happened. She was like, girl, I hope it ain't diabetes. And I was like,
you sound just like Mama Linda.
Girl, I hope it ain't diabetes. But the way she said it, I felt like, when people say stuff and it's not the way they said it, it's how your body responds to what they say.
Wow.
And I'm like, she I really hope she ain't right. And I was on the phone with Meg. I was like, I really hope the Lord is not using her. Like, I hope that's not true. Wow. So anyway, I go to my eye doctor because I got this procedure called Smile some years back, which is like a version of LASIK. And I'm thinking, hey man, you said the older I get, my vision gonna regress. And so I need you to check and see, if y'all didn't do the procedure.
And he was like, it's been 2 years, not that quick.
And he was trying to tell me he was like, your vision has probably progressively been getting bad and you just, just now notice it. I was like, no, I didn't just notice it. It legitimately shifted after my nap. And he was like, well, the only possible thing that would do is your sugar. He was like, you need to go get your blood sugar checked out. Wow. I'm like, okay, go to the doctor. I'm sorry for everybody that don't like drawing out stories. You can go and click on one of our podcasts about making disciples or something. Anywho, I go to the, what do you call that? Not urgent care. I go to the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor.
They ask me all my symptoms, all my stuff. They take my blood and they send me on my way.
No, you're skipping those.
What'd I skip?
Mama Linda bought something from Walgreens.
That's you skipping a part.
Oh, I thought that's what happened.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I go to the doctor.
My bad.
They take my blood, but they do not take a blood glucose test.
Oh, yeah, I remember
My
now.
mother says you need to go to Walgreens and get you a test. And that's the problem. It's like when I gave them all of those symptoms, at the very least, they should have given me a blood glucose test to just test immediately.
I forgot about that. We were mad about that.
What my sugar was. So we go to Walgreens, we get home, you had just ordered some Jamaican food. So I am very excited to eat these patties and these rice and peas and this brown stew chicken and this cabbage. I think we had some mac and cheese too. Mm-hmm. And Jamaican mac and cheese, you just never know. But I just was really excited to eat the food. So we take the test and the thing said like, I don't know, 475 or something like that. And I told my mom, I was like, what that mean? She said, girl, that mean you need to go to the hospital. That's what that means.
Right now. So even pastors go to hospitals. There are some ministries that really twist doctrines and they get to preach doctrines like, for example, if someone is sick, just come to the prophet, come to the pastor. They're the ones who are going to heal you. You don't need to go to the hospital. You don't need to use medicine because medicine is corrupted. It's of the devil. All these kinds of just misdoctrine. There are people who preach these things. But now look at this. This is a minister here and she's not at her best. And she's going to the hospital. Lady Fab is saying, for me, it's wrong to do a vasectomy even if your wife wants. Just my personal opinion. Guys, what do you think about vasectomy? Is it scriptural? Is it in line with scriptures for us to interfere with God's system of recreation? What do you guys think about vasectomy? According to Lady Fab, she's saying that it's wrong for one to do a vasectomy even if your wife wants. Lady Fab, is this in line with scripture or just let us know? She's saying that's her just a personal opinion, but what is the source of that opinion? Is it in line with scripture or is just out of preference? What do you guys think about vasectomy and scriptures? Is it in line or not? So just something that I wanted to point across is that she is about to go to the hospital and she's a minister. Think about the ministers that say that that you're not supposed to go to the hospital and everything. Hey, girl, that mean you need to go to the hospital. That's what that means.
Right now.
And I'm like, really? Because I don't know anything about blood sugar. I don't know anything about a blood glucose test. So I'm like, I'm not understanding that this is, I guess, a problem. Yeah. And so you take me to the hospital. And another mistake is that you bought me a Snickers. So
I didn't know either.
I didn't know. We're in the lobby. I'm just chopping on this Snickers.
Yeah, I was like, because she was hungry. I said, the commercial popped up. I said, hungry, why wait?
Yeah, I thought it made sense. That Snickers was delicious.
I said, hungry.
That might be one of the last Snickers I've had. And so
the Lord, it was on you.
They took us to the back.
Out of my ignorance.
Long story short, they took the blood and then the doctor immediately, this is before we even get into the thing, they just taking blood and like high blood pressure. It was like, oh, you got diabetes. I'm like, wait. I was like, ain't you supposed to do some more?
Yeah, I said, hey, why you say that quick?
Yeah,
Do
it
some
was
more
like
tests.
immediate.
We're not even in the room yet. We're in a little hallway.
Yeah. Was that triage?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking
I was
about.
like, I just feel like you should have warned me. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, yeah, your nobody's blood sugar is at that if they don't have diabetes.
Yeah.
So they take
And I was in denial. I knew you was. I don't know if he was. I was in denial because I'm like, my wife eats kale. I'm like, I should have. I eat Skittles
You
in the
should have
basement
diabetes.
all the time.
You
I
should
say
be-
my wife eats. She eats like a rabbit.
You should be insulin resistant.
She be eating quinoa.
You should be type 2. God is great.
Don't speak that
Because
over.
no, there is no such thing as speaking that.
I know. I'm just saying.
Let's be clear. I can't speak anything into existence. Only God has to will it into existence, and we just submit to his will. But
Whoa. That's something that she said very, very key there about speaking things into existence. She said that she can't speak anything into existence unless God decides to make it happen. Because I do understand there's a whole doctrine taught about speaking things into existence. And there are also books that have been written, not necessarily Bible-based books, but there are a lot of books, like, for example, the law of attraction, I don't know this law, that law, where you're just speaking things into existence. So there's just that whole teaching. But maybe on a later video, we can get just to have a look at that doctrine, the doctrine of speaking things into existence, because she might be a bit careless. I might say that, because her throwing the word directly to the husband that you might be suffering from actually type 2 diabetes, I will say that's a careless communication. I'll say that's a careless communication, because for a minute there, the husband was like, yo, what's that all about? But she got there. She went to the hospital, got diagnosed, and she was told that she has diabetes. She has diabetes. This is crazy. Yo.
God is great.
I should have. I eat Skittles
You
in the
should have
basement
diabetes.
all the time.
You
I
should
say
be-
my wife eats. She eats like a rabbit.
You should be insulin resistant.
She be eating quinoa.
You should be type 2.
Yeah, and I'm surprised because she looks like she has quite a healthy lifestyle. But then again, where is the diabetes coming from? Because a lot of these teachings that teach about how someone can get diabetes and all these things, it's all about lifestyle. How is your lifestyle? Are you an active person? Are you eating right? So according to her, or according to what the husband is actually saying, is that she was taking all the good food in terms of veggies and water, and just avoiding all the junks and everything. And she looks like she's been having an active lifestyle, not just a dormant one. But she got diagnosed with diabetes. So where is that coming from?
She eats like a rabbit.
You should be insulin resistant.
She be eating quinoa.
You should be type 2. God is great.
Don't speak that
Because
over.
no, there is no such thing as speaking that.
I know. I'm just saying.
Let's be clear. I can't speak anything into existence. Only God has to will it into existence, and we just submit to his will. But I'm just saying, I think that was part of what felt confusing.
Yeah, it was.
Is that I eat pretty well. I don't overdo it on stuff, and that's the assumption, because the assumption is that diabetes, for like all versions of diabetes, come by way of how you eat or what you ingest or what you drink and how active you are. And so to me, that was a clue that even the diabetes that y'all are telling me I have might not be the diabetes that y'all are telling me I have, because the doctor was like, I was like, what type am I? And his immediate thing was type 2, gotta be. And I was like, well, I'm Googling, and there's type 1, there's type 1.5, there's type 2, and it's giving, I don't know how I would be type 2, because it's not hereditary, it's not in my family, I don't eat a certain kind of way, I'm pretty active, all the stuff. So that's another, I think, thing that I discovered in this conversation, is how quick doctors can be to misdiagnose and not do the due diligence to make sure that they tell you what you actually are, so that you can get the care that you actually need. Yeah. And so long story short.
And also, it's crazy because sometimes you might just be okay. You might just be okay until you go for a checkup. So when you get to the doctor and then they're doing all these tests on you, then all of a sudden they change their face and they're like, wow, how did you even make it to come to the hospital? And you know how doctors are always very dramatic, you know, when it comes with them, with these suspense. They always have these suspense in their speech. And then they're like, how did you even make it to actually to this place? You know, like your condition is so bad. It's terrible. I'm telling you, immediately everything shifts in your body. Just everything shifts in your body, you know, and then you look at yourself like now maybe you're even lucky to be alive at that moment. So she was misdiagnosed. I love that she still stood in faith despite the negative report given to her by the doctor, but she still had some faith and she still had some hope that it is not as terrible as this doctor is saying it is. So something happened next. There's something that happened. So check this out.
The due diligence to make sure that they tell you what you actually are so that you can get the care that you actually need. Yeah. And so long story short, they took me back there. I ended up being in what is called DKA, which is basically like my blood glucose levels were so high that it creates this acidity in your blood, which is basically very dangerous, where you could die if you don't catch it. And so it really, I think it landed on me eventually that the Lord, this sounds like an overstatement, but it isn't, that the Lord saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Because for me to be in DKA, technically in Australia, all those symptoms of me highly urinating, me being super dehydrated, me being very fatigued, that meant that whole time I was in DKA. And so my vision went bad was a clue that something is wrong with my body, which made me go get it checked. I think if my vision didn't go bad, I would have just tried to thug it out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm drinking orange juice. I'm drinking all this juice, like putting more sugar, more glucose in my body, not knowing my pancreas no longer produces insulin. So it cannot offset or put this sugar somewhere else. Yeah. So I say all that to say, I think
the Lord was kind.
Yeah, he saved me. And when I was in the doctor, that's also what happened. We went to the doctor, they put me in the thing, and she was like, yeah, you ain't gonna be able to eat. I was like, but I got some Jamaican food. Because the doctor was 5 minutes from the house. I said, my husband's he on the way with Jamaican food. God, just eat the Jamaican food. And she was like, I'm gonna let you eat that Jamaican food and you're not gonna be able to eat nothing else. So you came and I ate all the rice and peas and
you was bashing.
Because I knew that was my last meal. I knew I wasn't gonna have nothing. So they put me on insulin drip, did all the stuff. Here's the problem. I'm asking these people, okay, so what do I do? What do I eat? What do I do? I literally asked the nurse when they were about to let me go, because I was in there for 2 days. I was like, so what do I do? She was like, you just got to manage it. What does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And so imagine you just finding out that you have diabetes, don't know which type.
Yo, just...
What do I do? She said, you just got to manage it. You ain't told me nothing about no endocrinologist. You ain't told me nothing about no meal plans. You haven't taught me anything. So guess what? I go home ignorant.
Yeah.
You leave. You had to fly out because you had an event. Okay.
In New York, yeah.
They sent me home with metformin. Metformin is a pill for type 2 diabetes that helps people who have insulin resistance. They sent me home with the metformin. You leave. I'm trying not to eat carbs. So I'm like eating beans. I had a little bit of beans. I had some rice, some onions. I'm trying to eat healthy, but I'm pricking my finger and my sugar keeps going up.
Yeah.
All I know is now I'm in the 500s again. Why? Because you sent me home without insulin, because you don't realize that I'm actually type 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Megan, Jordan came over, Ashley came over. We ended up going to urgent care. Urgent care was like, hey, you probably gotta go back to the ER. I don't know why they sent you home. They sent me to the ER. My sugar was in the 600s. They sent me back there and I was in DKA again. And so I was in hospital total 4 days. Come to find out, I am type 1 diabetic, which is an autoimmune disease, which means that my body randomly or just decided to attack my pancreas. So my pancreas no longer produces insulin. Why is insulin necessary? Because anytime you eat carbs or sugars, it puts glucose in your bloodstream. The insulin is like a bus. The insulin takes the sugar, takes the glucose and puts it into your organs so that you have energy. But if you have no insulin, then all of that sugar is in your bloodstream. If that sugar is in your bloodstream, it makes your blood thick. And it creates ketones, which makes your blood acidic. And so your organs aren't getting any energy. And so that's why people's fingers start falling off and all the type of stuff. And your blood is acidic. And so that is why people die. That is why people go into comas. So that was the state that I was in because, again, they sent me home without actually doing the due diligence of knowing what I needed.
We stopped going to the hospital because it just wasn't
Oh, they won't ever see me again.
Yeah. And by the grace of God, we were...
So that is what's going on with the Perrys. You can just get to watch the full pod that is on their channel. It's known as the Perrys. The title of it is diabetes. So she got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and you can just hear where she was ministering on the pulpit, and it really affected her in terms of her vision and everything else, but she just kept going. I love the fact that there's a report that the doctor had given her that her situation might even just be even worse, that she's actually having type 2, but that was not the end of it. She still held up her faith. You know, sometimes it's easy for us to really declare these things. Like, for example, for you just to declare that you have great faith, it's very easy. But what about when you are caught up in a situation? Will still the word of God be productive to you? Will you still work out the word of God? Or are you going to be that person? You're going to look at yourself defeated. Now you're going to look at yourself like this is just the end of it. I love how she has really stood up strong through all this. I love how she took the news, and right now she's even open. She's even open and bold and speaking about it, and even just telling people more about it. And as much as it doesn't sound fair that, you know, she's had all these, she's had a very pretty healthy lifestyle according to her, but she still got to have this diabetes. She's not looking at that negativity. She's not more in the side of like, you know, that I've done all this. This is what the scientists said, that if we do, we will still not get this thing, but I still have this thing. So it doesn't matter. Sometimes we might be hit with life on ways that we think that it's very unfair. We might be hit with lives in way that we think we've prevented, but it doesn't matter. Bible says whatever comes our way through all these things, we are truly more than conquerors in all these things. And that is the consciousness that we always need to carry. That is the consciousness that we always need to walk by, because the truth is a lot of challenges, it's a very trying times. These are very trying times, and a lot of challenges also different ministers are facing. But as much as we remember them in prayer, let us do that, remember them in prayer. But also their lives could be an example to us with how we conduct ourselves when we are hit hard with life. It's not a time for us to give up. It's not a time for us to look at ourselves in manners like, hey, now what next? You know, what am I going to do after this point? You know, and maybe for some people, if they get news like that, they might even be starting to count their days, you know, like how many more days am I left with here, and all those kinds of things. So I love how she got to handle this, and even the strength that she has, even by speaking about this and trying to educate people about this. And let us remember her also in our prayers. Let us do so. So just in case you're not yet subscribed yet, go ahead right now and click on the subscribe button. I always get on the live sessions every day, that is Monday to Friday. And then again, I also share eye-opening conversations. So that's what you've just gotten to get in this video, and even much more. So like the video. Go ahead right now, like the video. I'm just let me see. We'll like the video right now, and the comment section stays open. Go ahead also and share your comments. Stay blessed, and see you